Hi there, Enneagram 7. Welcome to Finding Calm in Chaos. Or, in other words, the world's a little crazy, but you don't have to be. In this episode, we're going to talk about what drives the Enneagram 7 and how that is impacting the way that the Enneagram 7 is experiencing stress or this time in history. If life feels chaotic, we're going to talk about why that is the case. And then I want to talk about how that impacts the body, the somatic response that an Enneagram 7 would be having, and the emotions that will indefinitely come up. I also want to issue a few warnings, things to just be on the lookout for as an Enneagram 7 to know if maybe you're sinking into a less than healthy place. I want to encourage you to use your gifts and your strengths to make a difference in the world. And most importantly, we'll end with 4 ways that you can take care of yourself, of your body, your spirit, your mind, and your soul. This is 9 in 9, Enneagram Wisdom for Life. I'm Jen Stanley. Let's dive in. So as an Enneagram 7, you are very driven to experience joy, adventure, and you love to have a lot of personal freedom and a lot of options. You're valuing optimism and freedom and positivity, joy. And so it's no surprise as an Enneagram 7 that in this time of history where we're experiencing a lot of negativity and a lot of conflict, this stuff really has an impact for the Enneagram 7, who is just kind of constantly trying to bring that joy and that optimism and free spirit to the world. And if you could rid the world of anything, you would rid the world of pain and of conflict, of negativity and fighting and just the stuff that brings us down. So as an Enneagram 7, you probably already know your goal is to avoid pain. And so oftentimes in the body, as you're trying to ignore the conflict, ignore the negative emotions that you might feel, just kind of going, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to experience that. I'm going to just kind of stay busy. And because of that refusal to process those difficult emotions, what we see is kind of an overactive, scattered energy throughout the body. And so having like restless legs, even restless limbs, lots of fidgeting, and then tension within the head, the jaw, and the neck. This is all just indicators that there is energy that is being kind of stuffed down. Now, in the emotional center, here are some emotions that may be coming up for the 7. Starting with feeling trapped. And is that an emotion? I'm not sure, but it's the best way to summarize this sense of almost panic, like claustrophobic feeling, because right now you're experiencing a world where the negativity is growing, and maybe you feel like it's just going to completely shut down. There's too much pain. There's too much division and conflict. There's too much hurt for me to ignore any longer. And that can create kind of a panic, claustrophobic, trapped feeling. If you feel like your typical tactics of avoiding these negative emotions and feelings and this negative world are falling short, it can make you feel really vulnerable, because at that point you really only have one option, and that is to face what's going on, and that's really hard. Now, another emotion is going to be along the lines of being anxious or having anxiety, and when you think about facing that true reality of what's happening right now, even in light of your optimistic lens, that can make you feel really nervous and really anxious because it's not something that you would feel comfortable doing. Now, when the 7 is in a lot of stress, they move to their stress number, which is an Enneagram 1. And that can cause you to feel a burden or a sense that you really need to control everything. All right, I have some cautions for you, the Enneagram 7. These are things to just be on the lookout for, to be aware of, to notice if you're maybe shifting into a space that isn't going to serve you or other people. And the first caution that I have for you is to watch for avoidance. When you want to disengage and basically just check out. At this point, it's really easy to become kind of scattered in your thinking and even in your behavior, and really just always thinking about how to escape what's going on. Just kind of you lose the sense of being present in the moment. So really be watching for that avoidance tendency. And if that happens, take a minute and come back to the present moment. The second thing I want to caution you against is the idea of reframing. And so this is where you kind of have a refusal to look the pain or the suffering in the eye. And it's a spin on a situation that is like, well, it's not that bad. Or, well, I mean, it could always work out differently. And it becomes a very powerful way to live in denial of truth. The final caution for the Enneagram 7 is when you notice yourself becoming self-referencing. Now, that's kind of a fancy word for, being focused on yourself, of thinking of yourself first. And this is a tendency that happens in a few of the numbers, but certainly with the Enneagram 7. And this is where you're only thinking about you. What freedoms am I losing? What am I missing out on? And when that starts to happen, it's okay. It's just a way that you're protecting yourself. But I want you to listen for it, to watch for it, and to be aware of it. 7s, you have such a gift to bring to the world when we are in times of despair or discord or conflict or crazy, right? Because you are able to think of creative solutions. Oh, 7s are such good problem solvers. Another gift you bring is that you are able to bring people together. You are an excellent builder of communities, and not just communities that sit around, communities of people that are wanting to take action. Like, what is the thing right now that I could rally people around that would make a positive difference in my community, my neighborhood, my family, my world? Okay, we're going to pause here because I want to invite you to a really great opportunity that I have for you. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the 4 ways that you can stay calm and present even in a crazy world. We're doing our first giveaway. I want to give you a free Enneagram assessment that usually costs money because it's a really good one, plus an hour-long consultation with me so that I can help you interpret the results. All you have to do is go to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube and comment and follow. Now, if you do it on all 4 platforms, you're going to be entered to win 4 times. Okay, welcome back. Enneagram 7, here are 4 ways to create calm and to navigate this crazy world that we find ourselves in right now. First of all, for the body, every day, spending 5 minutes, maybe 10 at the maximum, in child's pose, which is a yoga pose, where you kneel on the ground and you put your head down with your arms up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can Google. This is going to really bring the body into a place where it can find stillness. Now, the other option, if you don't want to do child's pose, is to do what they call legs up on a wall, which simply is laying down on the ground and sliding your behind all the way to the wall and putting your legs straight up on the wall. And then you lay with your arms out and you just breathe deeply for about 5 minutes. Now, there's a question that I want you to ask. How can I be present to the reality of what's going on and bring hope? It is a both and. An action that I would encourage you to take daily is to do one small thing to alleviate the pain or the suffering or the sadness of someone else. This is going to help you stay present to the reality and also bring hope. And then finally, I'm a big proponent of having some type of gratitude journal. If at the end of the day, you could list 3 to 5 beautiful sightings that you saw that day, that is going to help you stay present to the day and help you not feel overwhelmed by negativity. But I want you to really stay present and look for beautiful things throughout the day.